So I've been using comps from Strike Industries for quite a few years now. I have put out a lot of different videos with the Mass Driver comp that I have on the Kiger 9C Pro. And you have seen quite a few videos on this micro comp quad that I have on my Beretta APX A1 Tactical. Well, Strike just dropped another comp, and this is the micro threaded comp Quad V. Now, I'm going to let you know right up front, this is not going to be the review video. I wanted to do this for two different reasons. The first reason is I wanted to just let you know that this comp just came out and it is available now. And we're going to talk about where it's available here in a second. And two, what I want to do after we get this out of the box is we're going to put this on a few different guns. And then I want you guys to sound off in the comments on what guns you want me to take to the range to test this out on. Alright, we're over on the other bench. We'll just go over the packaging real quick. It pretty much comes in a cardboard box just like every other Strike product. There's the back and the sides. You do have a QR code here on the bottom. So we'll get this out. Got the little warning tag. They put this in every box. Our comp is wrapped in plastic. And we may have possibly the world's smallest torque wrench. So our comp is in some bubble wrap, and then it is wrapped in plastic. So they did a very good job of keeping this protected during shipping. And there's our comp. Now this does have the 1/2 by 28 threads, so it'll pretty much fit any 9mm threaded barrel. Now this is where you're going to tighten this down after you get it threaded on the barrel. And if you notice, this says 35 right above here. And this question was asked a lot when I did the micro comp quad video. Why do they have that number on here? That means 35 inch-pounds. And once you get this aligned on your barrel right where you want to lock this down with 35 inch-pounds. I use the Wheeler fat wrench, but any torque wrench will work. So here's the front of the comp. There is the other side. I already showed you the back where the threads are. And here's where all the magic happens, right here on the top. So you've got the really large port right here and a smaller port here. Really nice looking comp. Alright, before we start putting this on some different guns to see what it looks like, let's go over the specs on this real quick. This does have an overall length of 1.44 inches. The width on this is 5/8 of an inch, and the height on this is 3/4 of an inch. And this does weigh 1.85 ounces. Alright, I went and grabbed 4 different guns that I want to test this comp out on. Now the first one would be the Bear Creek Arsenal Grizzly BC 101. I have not tested this with a comp yet or a suppressor. Get close up there what it looks like. I don't think it looks too good on here. Got quite a bit of gap between the back of the comp and the front of the slide. But I'd still like to test it out on this just to see how well the Grizzly will run with a comp. Now the second gun I want to test this out on is my CZ Nocturne F. I actually kind of like how it looks on here. Still got a little bit of gap there between the back of the comp and the front of the slide. That's just the trade-off to a universal comp versus a compensator that is actually made for your gun. There's what the other side looks like. And there's what the top looks like. Now, the biggest reason I want to test it out on the Nocturne is because I do want to get a dedicated comp for this. And I'm looking at one from Parker Mountain Machine that I think is going to look really good on here. So I just kind of want to get this out to the range with this comp on it, just to see how this gun will perform with a comp on it. Now, this is my favorite one I've put it on so far. This is my EAA Gearson Disruptor. And I really like how it looks on here. You still got a little bit of gap between the back of the comp and the front of the slide, but very little. I just think it looks pretty awesome on the Disruptor. Now this is the one I'm the most excited about. Now I've got it on my T-Saws Night Stalker Double Stack 1911. And I like how it looks on here. Got a little bit of a gap there. Now, I've been wanting to run this with a comp on it for quite a while. I have run this gun suppressed. It runs really good with the suppressor. Have not run it with a comp, so pretty excited about this one. There's what the top looks like. I do believe this is the only double stack 1911 I have with a threaded barrel. So this one should be pretty interesting. All right, now let's talk about where you're going to get this comp, because you can only get this at one place, and that is Optics Planet. Now, I did pre-order this, so I don't know when the exact release date was. I wasn't checking my email, but I ordered this a week and a half ago, so it took a week and a half to get here. Now this comp is available at the time you're watching this video, so it's not a pre-order now. If it's in stock, hopefully it ships right away. So I would think that you would get it in a week or less. I did not pay for expedited shipping or anything like that. I do believe it was free shipping. It was the slowest shipping they had. I still got it within a week and a half. Now, price-wise, I think it's pretty good. I think it comes in right under 75 beans, which is not too bad for a comp. I've paid a lot more for other comps. And the benefit of having a comp like this, because I like to call this more of a universal comp for pretty much anything chambered in 9mm with 1/2 by 28 threads, is that you can have this sitting in your safe and you can put this on multiple 9mm that you have with threaded barrels to see how the gun runs with a comp on it. If you've watched my channel, I run a lot of comps, and we've had issues with some. We had a comp that we put on the Taurus G3 Tactical, and we ended up having to change out the guide rod and spring. There's other guns that we've tested comps on the channel that we've had to mess around and change some guide rod springs to different spring weights to get them to function properly. So having a comp like this around, you can throw this on a gun. If the gun runs really good with a comp, obviously you're looking for that recoil reduction, and if you get that with the comp, then you can turn around and actually get a comp that is made for that gun, and then you have this around to use on new guns in the future when you pick them up. So I always think it's pretty good to have a little universal comp like this laying around just to test stuff with. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, sound off down in the comments. Let me know which one of these guns you're most excited to see this comp used on. You guys want me to take all 4 of them to the range and run them? I will. If you're not that interested in, say, the Grizzly or any of them, just let me know. Sound off in the comments. So if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you subscribe, because I will have this video coming out pretty soon. I'll see you on the next one.